the alleged reason why Nicki Minaj was not nominated for Grammy.
Honey, so there's been a lot of conversation around why Nicki Minaj, yet again, did not receive any Grammy nominations at the upcoming Grammy Awards in 2025. I know, I'm a Nicki Minaj fan. I've watched her career over the years. I've enjoyed so much of her music. I mean, she makes so much good music. It's undeniable. She's extremely talented. And she has a catalog of songs that can go on for years, and you'll never run out of stuff to play. Just a talented singer, songwriter, producer, actress. She's just bomb. Record label owner. And I wanted to know why. I had to find out why. So I'm a journalist too. I've been writing for years. I have a degree in communications and journalism, and I've been around the block a few times on a few red carpet interviews. Sometimes you might catch me on the TV show. It's a crime drama show called For My Man on TV One. Or either you might catch me on Fatal Attraction on TV One. But I am a Nicki Minaj fan, and I wanted to know why. So what did I do? I emailed the CEO of the Recording Academy, the Grammys, Harvey Mason Jr. I asked him, why did she not get a Grammy nomination? And he answered. So let's get into what was said. So let me also add this. Harvey Mason Jr., the CEO of the Recording Academy, the Grammys, he said himself that he is a huge Nicki Minaj fan. I thought that was just amazing, because how could you not be? So let's get started on what was said. So the subject line said, how are the Grammy artist nominees determined? Greetings, Harvey and team. I hope that you all are having a good week so far. Harvey, as the CEO of the Recording Academy, you've had to have quite a resume to get that role. You have to have done a lot in music and know music really well to land that title. And I won't lie, you do have quite a background, and I'm impressed. You've not only penned and produced songs for industry legends like Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Elton John, but also stars like Justin Bieber and also Beyonce, John Legend, Britney Spears, and also Ariana Grande and Justin Timberlake, and also Chris Brown. So I'm not going to read all of that or share the screenshot of the whole email, but I'm going to share what question I asked him. And I said, so Harvey, with all of your background in knowing music really well, I have a genuine question from a real fan of one of the top selling hip hop artists in the world, Nicki Minaj. I'm sure you know, according to Billboard, Pink Friday 2 is the highest selling female rap album of 2023 and also 2024. Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 world tour alone had 108 plus million total gross, 50,000 plus sold out shows across the globe, 750,000 plus seats sold, best-selling female rap tour in history, top 4 most successful rap tours in history. So why was Nicki not nominated for any Grammys for the upcoming 2025 Grammy Awards show? Okay? Has she really been blackballed from winning ever a Grammy for the rest of her career over one performance in the past? And I told him I'm not speculating rumors. I asked this question because it's been mentioned by the artist herself. And in my opinion, I had to tell him, there's no way the others that the Recording Academy selected for Best Female Hip Hop or nominees for anything are more worthy than Nicki Minaj. There's just no way. Real quick, trying to make this fast, but it was a pretty nice email exchange between us. And I also mentioned in there that Nicki Minaj has suggested that industry politics may have influenced her treatment by the Grammy decision makers. Nicki Minaj has voiced her concerns and frustrations about her relationship with the Grammys, particularly regarding the categorization and recognition of her music. And she's right. I'm just keeping it real. She's right. One significant controversy occurred in 2012 when her hit single, Super Bass, was not nominated despite its success. Okay. So Nicki Minaj's case highlights ongoing debates about bias, categorization, and transparency in Grammy selections. And I just wanted to know, I asked him, I said, why do y'all treat her this way? I'd like to know. So, let me see what he says. Oh, he responded, Dear Tinsley, I received your note Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts and pose these questions. Let me start by saying I'm personally a huge fan of Nicki Minaj and her music. She has created a catalog of music that's amazing, and she is a massive talent. So here was his response. In response to your questions, I want to share some important information. First, Grammy nominations are determined by the Recording Academy's 13,000 voting members. Keep that in mind. Singers, songwriters, producers, composers, engineers, and other working professionals in music. Artists and their teams submit their work for the Grammy consideration, and those 13,000 members cast their votes. The esteemed auditing firm Deloitte oversees the process and counts the votes. In each category, the top 5 finishers, or 8 in our general field categories, become the nominees. He said that's it. That's the whole process. And he said a little bit more than that, and I won't go word for word in this email exchange, but he did tell me that the voters are instructed. The voters, we're talking about the Recording Academy's 13,000 voting members, they are instructed to make their choices based solely on the music. He even mentioned earlier this summer, well, before the vote, way before the voting began, he sent a letter urging them to not let any other factors such as race, gender, reputation, label, management team, or anything else cloud their elevation or their evaluation of the music. He also mentioned he'd never heard one voter say a bad word about Nicki, and he said, rest assured, if he did, he wouldn't stand for it. So it seems that Harvey Mason Jr. likes Nicki Minaj, and he seems like a stand-up guy to me. You know, it was just one exchange, but I'm gonna tell you, he never pushed me off to any assistant, any third party. He responded directly to me from his email address. And I thought that was impressive. And so we said a lot more than that in the email. I won't read it verbatim, but we even had a moment in the email where we talked about Susan Lucci. I told him Nicki Minaj finally winning a Grammy that she deserves would be very similar to when one of daytime's favorite soap opera stars, Susan Lucci, finally won her first Emmy years ago. It was like not one dry eye in the building. She worked so hard, but she always got overlooked. And so he shared the same excitement about when Susan Lucci won. She used to be on All My Children. Yeah, I'm telling my age. But I went back and I told him, I'm going to leave you with this. I told him, Harvey, you mentioned you have never heard a Recording Academy voting member say a bad word about Nicki Minaj. That's good to know. However, remember, you are the CEO, and they probably wouldn't speak negatively and share their personal views about an artist, especially if it's a negative view, because they know it can make them appear biased and possibly stunt their ability to make a fair, sound, just decision. And I told him I know he's far more experienced in the industry than me, but I'm going to recommend this to him. And I said, if I were you, I want to look a little deeper into the Recording Academy's 13,000 voting members and see if many, or maybe a large percent of them, are anti-Nicki. I'm just being honest. Are they anti-Nicki? You got to know who is voting, who is on these committees voting, who are these 13,000 voting members. They're producers, they're singers, they're songwriters, they're all of that. Are they legitimate people? I mean, I would love to know. And so I told him that the answers were detailed, and we would hate that anybody would just be on that committee being biased on purpose simply because they have that one opportunity to flex their muscles and they're using it against Nicki Minaj. So he responded, and I thought that was really cool. He said, I hear you, and I will continue to work diligently to ensure our voters are voting fairly and our body is as representative as possible. And he did tell me he was comfortable with me sharing, you know, the way the system works, our conversation here. And he said he hopes that it clears up some misinformation out there. I want to know who those 13,000 voting members are. Who are you? Because ain't no way that by now Nicki Minaj has not won or been nominated several times over the years for a Grammy. Ain't no way. Where are these 13,000 voting members at? I'll wait. You know what this shows me, though, and it makes me smile even harder for Nicki Minaj, because this shows me it's not the Grammys hating her. It's not the CEO hating her. It's not her music. It's some of those people on that 13,000 Recording Academy voting membership squad, who's responsible for this for years. That's who it is.